So I believe that there are 25 fears that affect confidence. And of those 25 fears, the number one fear is the fear of being judged. It is the most common and the most destructive fear, and it is the biggest way that people prevent themselves from really going after what it is that they want and creating a life for themselves that they want, because they're very much consumed about the thoughts and the opinions of other people. So with that being said, let's get into my top 6 tips on how you can overcome the fear of being judged. Tip number 1, stop judging yourself. It starts with you and the judgments that you have on yourself. The less you judge yourself, the less other people are going to judge you too. Tip number 2, stop seeking other people's approval. This is an indication of the approval that you need to be giving to yourself. So instead of seeking other people's approval, focus on really getting to know yourself, become self-aware, do that work, and focus on becoming the most authentic version of yourself and approving of yourself and making your opinion of yourself the most important. When you get to know who you really are and you start doing things for yourself and showing up as yourself and being the way that you want to be instead of doing things and saying things and behaving a particular way for other people, you are so much happier. So much happier. And that's one core value that we all have, is happiness. Number 3, take inventory of the people you surround yourself with, your friends. This is really, really important. If you have people that are close to you in your friendship circle, or even family members that are judgmental people, and you spend time with them being judgmental, that's not a good way for you to be building your confidence and for you to get away from this fear of being judged. So be very mindful of the time that you spend and who you spend it with. Time is our most precious commodity. That's the one thing that we cannot buy more of, and this is a big one. I'm very adamant about this, and very deliberate and mindful of who I give my time to. You can never get back time, so make sure that you spend time with people that lift you up, that are supportive, that are in alignment with your core values, and that are non-judgmental people. And tip number 4 is, if you find yourself thinking that somebody might be judging you, and notice how I use the word might, I want you to put yourself in their shoes, and then you ask yourself, what would I be thinking about me if I were them? Now, if you're thinking that they would be thinking negative things about you or mean things about you, then that means that you are judging them as a mean person. Not very nice, is it? What you want to do instead is think that other people are not judging you in a negative way. So if you catch yourself being mindful and you catch yourself thinking that other people might be thinking negative thoughts about you, you might want to reframe that and say, hey, they could possibly be thinking, wow, I wish I had that confidence. Wow, I really like her outfit. Wow. You know, it's not always negative. We are not mind readers. We never know what's going on in the minds of other people. So ask yourself, what would I be thinking about me if I was them? And put a positive spin on it. Tip number 5, use confident body language and behavior that makes people see you for who you really are and shows people your level of confidence and your level of authenticity. Don't go out there thinking or saying to yourself, I'm going to let them tell me who they think I am. Instead, you tell yourself, I'm going to show them who I really am through my body language, through my behavior, and through my confidence. And tip number 6, write down a list of behaviors and core values and characteristics that you have when you are being your authentic self. Who is the real you? Make a list and then start putting yourself in circumstances where you can really practice being the real you, that version of yourself. Really important to remember that you do not fear judgment when you know who you really are. The more that you know who you really are and show up in the world being yourself, the less you fear being judged by other people. You don't have those kinds of thoughts, you don't have those kinds of fears. A really great quote by Eleanor Roosevelt that goes a little something like this: you wouldn't worry so much about what other people thought about you if you knew how seldom they did. And that is the truth. People have their own shit going on. People are very much consumed with their own lives and what's going on in their own head, what their fears are and how they're showing up in the world, whether or not they're coming across insecure. people are really not paying that much attention to us, which is actually really quite funny if you think about it. It's quite like an egotistical approach to be looking at things, right? Like, oh, this person must be thinking about me, this person must be thinking about me. When most of the time, really, they're not. It's just, our own stuff going on in our own head. People are busy, people have their own things going on, so focus on yourself and focus on showing up being yourself. If you find that a lot of the things I spoke about in this video resonate with you, I would love for you to check out a couple of my other videos that I've made all about worrying and caring too much about the opinions of other people. I will link that in the description box down below. I have a little audience here, but I don't care. Anyways, I'll link that in the description box down below. I hope that you found this video helpful and useful. And if you would like a bunch more confidence building tips, like tons and tons and tons and pages and pages and pages of powerful tips and techniques and all kinds of resources, hop on over to my website, absoluteconfidence.com. And you can also opt in for my 60 free confidence building tips. And as always, I hope that you go out there and make it an amazing day. And always remember that nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, is more powerful than absolute confidence. Go out there and do something that freaks you out today and puts you right into your fear. And I hope you make it an amazing day.